So because of this, I will speak generically, without mentioning names, without mentioning countries. Not because I'm scared of the criticism of the critic, but because amana and Shariah, and even any court of law, not even Shariah, any court of law will say, if you don't know the facts definitively, you have no right to make a definitive verdict. So because of this, I will speak generically. But inshallah, it's clear what I am speaking generically, even if I don't mention names or countries or details. So, first and foremost, if two people have had a nikah done, we have to ask, what was the previous nikah's ending? Was it a khula'? Was it a fasakh? Was it a talaq? This is the first area of controversy, because each one will have a different iddah. And each one will have different rulings apply. And as we said, according to the different madhabs, some of the madhabs, if it was initiated on her side, and she asked for a khula', some of the madhabs would allow an iddah for one cycle, one menstrual, or 1 month. If she wasn't menstruating, it would be 1 month. And if, I'm just saying, if a person asked a mufti, and the mufti gave this fatwa, no other madhab can imprison somebody for following another madhab. You cannot criminalize a legitimate area of difference. And we don't know who initiated the talaq. There's controversy in this regard in this particular case. So this is an area of ambiguity. A second area of ambiguity, if the husband and wife differed when exactly the divorce was initiated, and one said, no, this was the day, and the other said, no, this was the day. In this case, each testimony is canceling the other. We would have to get evidence from outside. And in case there was no evidence from outside, no court can side with one against the other, because each testimony is canceling the other out. So if you have a case of differing, when did the talaq, even if we say talaq, and one says, no, but the talaq took place this month, other says, no, talaq took place that month. Unless they bring evidence, once again, there is no question the Sharia would not impose a penalty. There is no penalty. This is an ijtihad of your memory, and each memory is saying, oh, this versus that. Another point, which is really, in my opinion, the most important point, and that is, even if it was verified that this was the day, and even if we know a talaq took place, so both of these are ambiguous in a particular case, even if we knew it's talaq, it's not khula', and even if we know the date, this is the most important point in my humble opinion. When it comes to menses, and when it comes to a woman's cycle, the Sharia is clear. Who gives the testimony? The lady. The lady gives the testimony. It is not a man's business to go demanding proof. A'udhu billah. How disgusting is that? When did your menses finish? This is not my opinion. This is the unanimous consensus of the ulama of Islam. And I have a whole bunch of quotes. I don't need to quote them here. Ibn Battal said, ittafaqu. They have all agreed that when it comes to the shahada of the hayd, the shahada of giving birth, the shahada of the child, the shahada of personal defects in a woman's body, that the testimony of a woman counts, not that of a man. We don't open this door for a man. The Hanafi scholar Al-Aini said, ittafaqu. It is allowed that the shahada of a lady about the menses is taken. So when a woman says her menses are over, that's between her and Allah. If she's lying, that's Allah's punishment on her. We cannot get involved and say, oh, you have to prove to me that your menses are over. A'udhu billah. Think about this, right? When the lady says, I have done 3 menses and I am now allowed to get married, then the lady's testimony of when her menses finish, the lady's testimony will be definitive, and no one has the right to challenge this. And this is something all of the madahib agree upon. And as I said, it's even common sense. Ask me, you ask yourself, who's gonna get testimony? What type of testimony are you gonna have? Prove to me that your menses are over. It is against the akhlaq of the Sharia. We get involved in something like this. When the lady says it, Allah says in the Quran, it's not allowed for you. Okay, this is between her and Allah. This is a zajr, a harsh commandment. Allah is saying to the lady, you had better not lie. That's between her and Allah. In case, even if she lied, the punishment is on her. We do not get involved. And no court will demand from her, you must prove your testimony. This is between her and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Sharia requires we take her testimony at face value. Especially if she is not known to be a liar, she has lived especially even more so, then we take her word and we don't get involved in the details of the nitty-gritty of this regard. So, in reality, generically speaking, if a court case in the first time of a country's history becomes involved in the pettiness of she's wrong in her menses or her iddah didn't finish. And for the first time in that country's history, they take a high-profile politician or person and they use the Sharia and some ambiguous rulings to make some case against him. Wallahi, we must point out from the Shari'i perspective, we must point out this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense from the Sharia because of all these ambiguous reasons. We don't know whether it was talaq, whether it was khas, whether it was khula. We don't know the exact date. There is a difference of opinion. We don't know when the hayd finished and she says it finished. Based on all of this, the Sharia would rule. We take on face value. And even if a mistake occurred, this is not a criminal mistake. We would say, okay, re-perform the nikah and do the nikah properly. There's no criminality involved over here. And so without a doubt, when we find that there seems to be, Allah knows best, but there's clearly something strange when this issue has never been problematized in any other person in the entire country's history. And now for the first time, you find a prominent politician and you use something like this to jail this person and the person's spouse. Without a doubt, we say it appears that you're playing games with the Sharia and you're using the Sharia for your own personal vendettas. And we must point out, when you involve the Sharia, it's our right to speak out and defend the Sharia.